As a news organization, we often report on stories involving the Missouri State Highway Patrol, but it's rare that we have a chance to really interact with the troopers on a personal level. For 6 weeks, I, along with 20 other people, went behind the scenes of the Missouri State Highway Patrol during their Community Alliance program to see how they protect and serve.
We're more than a uniform, we're a person behind the uniform.
Once a week for 6 weeks, Mid-Missourians from all walks of life learned about the Missouri State Highway Patrol's purpose and role within the community.
There are so many things that they do that I think the general public isn't familiar with.
Grant Shorthose of Jefferson City Flying Service is a graduate of the Troop F Community Alliance program.
Just to get a better understanding of what the rest of the Highway Patrol does, the way they interact with, the citizens of Missouri, and just to get a better understanding for myself of how all that works.
For Highway Patrol Public Information and Education Officer Scott White, this was his first time hosting a class.
The purpose of the Community Alliance is not to train people, it's just to inform them of the job we do and the role that we play in the community. One of the best reactions that I saw was after, I think, the second night, and it was when one of the participants came up to me and told me, I wish I could do this every single night.
During one session, we went to the Highway Patrol's firing range. We each had a trooper guiding us through the steps of shooting their gun. It was a Glock 22 Generation 3 .40 caliber. We learned how to load it, where to place our hands, and the proper stance. For some of us, shooting a handgun was a foreign experience. At the firing range, troopers created situations like ones they might encounter. At one point, the fluorescent lights illuminating the range, they were turned off, and red and blue lights resembling their patrol lights, they were turned on.
That was crazy. That was exciting, exhilarating. I mean, my adrenaline was just rushing through my body the entire time, and we were shooting at a paper target. It was just amazing to sit there and have that rush of what it feels like to actually fire that weapon. I can't imagine what they go through just driving down the road thinking that they could have to use it.
During one of the classes, we met members from the patrol SWAT team. We tried on their gear and looked in and out of the Bearcat. We also learned about the bomb squad and saw some of their technology. And for the 5th class, we met at the patrol's Emergency Vehicle Operations course, or EVOC. It's where Highway Patrol recruits learn how to operate their vehicle. Each one of us put on a helmet, buckled up, and got the ride of a lifetime. Through all of the classes, we got a better understanding of the pressure and stress troopers are under.
Hopefully, I'll just have a better respect for all law enforcement or anybody of authority. The idea of going through this class and just walking away with nothing would just be a waste of time.
And the switch is just right here.
I think that citizens sometimes think that maybe the police aren't doing their job or they're overstepping their boundaries. With the Community Alliance, that helps citizens see the rules and the regulations and the procedures that the police have to follow. And I really think that programs like these alleviate some of those misunderstandings.
The program ended with graduation night, with a plaque and a handshake. 21 new Mid-Missourians, now graduates of the 2015 Missouri State Highway Patrol Community Alliance program. At the beginning of the course, Scott White was a corporal. By the end, he had been promoted to a sergeant. It was an accomplishment the class felt a connection to. Tomorrow night on KRCG 13 at Live at 10, we'll introduce you to 2 women whose lives were hit by tragedy. They'll share their stories and their reasoning behind taking this class and what they learned from it. For 6 weeks, some of Missouri's finest showed people from all walks of life what it's like to be in the Missouri State Highway Patrol. Each person who participated had their own reasons for taking the class. We talked to 2 women who were motivated by tragedy in our continuing coverage of To Serve and Protect.
Her name was Nora Brooks, and she was real active here at Jefferson City and in the Mizzou band.
On November 5th, 2003, Highway Patrol troopers knocked on Rosella Shadd's door. Her 21-year-old daughter had been killed in a crash.
I had already left for work, so my husband was the one that answered the door.
State Patrol troopers brought the worst news possible to their home.
They have to play a role of informing people when there's not very good situations. They were reaching out to us.
Now Rosella's reaching out to learn more about those who serve and protect.
I feel like they care. They're not just people doing a job. I mean, it has to be more than that, or else they wouldn't go through that kind of a training to be there.
I have a very good group of negotiators.
The Community Alliance program allowed citizens to get an inside look at what troopers do to protect the public and their training for it. It's a program which had a deeper meaning for Rosella. Pam Kliegel also participated in the class. And through the Community Alliance program, she faced one of her fears, a fear of guns, which was the result of tragedy.
My sister was murdered back in 2007, and my fear has stemmed from that.
During the third class, they went to the firing range.
I was very nervous. My adrenaline was pumping during the whole time because you go back to that moment. I have a fear of handguns, and so it helped. I'm not over that fear yet, but it definitely helped.
Pam knows her sister's always watching over her now.
I think just to overcome the fear of it, I think she'd be proud.
Both women say simulations they went through during the course gave them a better understanding of what troopers go through daily.
The simulations that we went through last week, you just don't have time to react. I mean, to logically think the steps out, you know how you're going to handle that situation. You don't have time to think about it.
My first attempt at it, I just froze. And, you know, I think I was asked, why did I freeze? Well, I don't know. You don't know what to do.
Rosella says she has a deeper appreciation for the men and women on the patrol.
So that we learn to walk in their shoes. We can't really walk in their shoes, but this was the closest I think that we could come to that in learning what kind of training that they go through, what kind of exercises they go through, how they prepare for the unknown.
Rosella says her daughter was a bright, shining light in their lives.
She never walked into her home. She always bounced, and I think that's the thing that you miss the most about it. You just wish that you could turn back the clock. We don't get that choice.
Now, Rosella hopes Highway Patrol's educational programs, like the Community Alliance, inform others about who they are as an agency and how they continue to serve and protect in an effort to prevent more tragedies.
They're out there enforcing the law and educating and evaluating the situations. So a message that of anything that we learned in this whole Community Alliance is that you want your loved ones to come home.
The next Troop F Community Alliance program will be in the fall of 2017. However, next spring, they will host a Student Alliance program. It will be open to high school juniors and seniors. To find out more about the programs, just visit our website, krcgtv.com.